Now, an historic Cornish lugger has sailed out of Newlyn for the start of a 1,000-mile journey to the Scottish Highlands. Barnabas is the only surviving fishing vessel of her kind in the world and is on a 6-week round trip to fit out new masts.
Well, several first-time sailors will be taking it in turns to crew the old mackerel driver, sailing much like she did in her heyday in the 1800s. Charlotte Gay went aboard.
With her iconic red sails against the turquoise sea, this 140-year-old certainly has the eye of onlookers as the crew stocked up for their 6-week round trip.
So we're setting off for Scotland today on Barnabas. Barnabas is looked after by the Cornish Maritime Trust, and we're off to Scotland to get new masts because the UK's best timber for masts is in Scotland.
So Toby, as you've been saying, I've been leaning against a specialist mast,
Yep.
But how much does it cost to replace a mast like this?
It's going to cost us £15,000 to do the whole thing, which means both masts, different spars, this outrigger behind you. We've already raised half that amount, so we need to get from 7,500 that we have now to 15,000 is our target.
Today she's packing Cornish yarg and sea salt, but Barnabas was originally built to catch pilchards in St Ives Bay, a bit of a workhorse in the 1800s, and below deck you get a sense of just how challenging the conditions would have been. How much time do you actually spend down here?
Depends on the weather. So we like to stay on deck most of the time because, as you see, it's quite claustrophobic down here. And when we're cooking, we usually have one person down here. When we're navigating, we navigate next door on top of the engine, so as little time as possible.
There may be days when you all wonder why on earth you're doing this trip, but then there'll be days when you're so glad that you did.
Perhaps the first day of 6 weeks is the easiest, but there are several legs of this journey, which include traversing the Celtic nations before returning back to Newlyn. At different stages, new shipmates will climb on board like Olivia, who's among those who've been taught heritage sailing skills which are at risk of dying out.
It's been amazing. It feels like such a privilege to live in Newlyn and be able to sail this boat that's so connected to this bit of coastline. The people at Cornish Maritime Trust are so patient and so friendly and welcoming, and it's just been very relaxed but also super fulfilling to be able to do something that's so connected with Cornish heritage.
Another crew member is artist in residence Vicki Norman. Vicki says learning to sail this lugger has given her a new appreciation of the vessel, which she already found incredibly beautiful to paint.
It's amazing. It helps me to understand the shapes so much better. Things like the masts are not parallel. And I may have been tempted to correct that, but having sailed her, I now know that that's the truth and I should leave it as it is. So I'm more able to see them more clearly because I understand their purpose.
She was once one of a 1,000-strong fleet, but here at the start of her 1,000-mile journey, Barnabas is truly one of a kind. Charlotte Gay, ITV News, Newlyn.